Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Friday, another Fearless Friday of learning awakes us all. I hope that you are getting up, getting started. It is 5:30 in the morning where I am, and that is I'm in Phoenix today. So I got off I came from Washington, D.C., where we're celebrating the Americans with Disabilities Act, the 33rd anniversary. It was great to see everybody out and back in public. The AAPD, the American Association for People with Disabilities, did a fantastic job on bringing everybody, the community back together. And so that was really wonderful. A lot of things on the horizon that are coming up that are in process and play now for those with disabilities, some transportation things, some website stuff. So that's really great to hear. But today I wanted to I got to Phoenix and I got off the plane, and Lord have mercy, it was 101 degrees last night. Sometimes you turn your oven on. You turn your oven on. It says preheat your oven. Well, it's preheated here. It is hot here. I heard like in the United Arab Emirates they call it hot. It's either hot or hell hot, and today it's hell hot here. It is burning up. Anyway, just wanted to jump in. I see we have one person on right now. Make a comment. Let me know you're coming in from. Once again, hit that notification bell if you are liking the conversation. I want to know where you are, questions that you might have. But we're going to jump into this conversation today. And, some things I was thinking about. And one of the things we're talking about Fearless Friday and amputating fear. One is around success. And I heard a lot of times this week, people talking about success and how they are so successful. And they were measuring the success by material possessions. It was, I have a new car, or I have a new house, or I made a great investment, and all these. And I was like, is that really success? So I was questioning myself because I used to be there, and thinking that success was about the material things and bringing those things in. But those things they never did it for me. It always was fleeting from me. It always was moving away from me. The more I chased it, the more it just ran away. I could never catch it. It was like a horizon. And with the sky meets the water or the sky meets the firma, it was always moving away from me. And so I began to think about success and where people are we still in material possessions for that or not? And so where are you? Are you like that? Is that good or bad? I'm not saying one way or the other. I am saying that where we're putting our time and attention and our focus on, it's a challenge when we're chasing after stuff. Because having attended a lot of funerals over the last few years, no one's taken anything with them except what they told themselves, in their faith about this, about what was going to come next. So I thought about happiness and fulfillment, and one of the things, true success is often measured. We often measure it by the level of happiness and fulfillment a person experiences in life. So material possessions are part of that. Lottery winners, as you know, usually they hit the lottery, so they have everything before them, and yet they lose it within inside of 5 years. So I just picked it up on Google as well. I was reading it. I heard it, but I was trying to look at the study behind it. Within 5 years. So you think about that, a multi-million-dollar win, and then it's gone within 5 years. Because look, if you're chasing dollars will flee from you. If you're chasing marks will flee from you. Whatever. We don't marks or euros. If you're chasing those things, they flee from us. And the reason they flee for us is because we're not satisfied with who we are. We're not satisfied with what we have and thinking of us as a success without those things. My wife and I were having a conversation, I guess maybe about 2 months ago, and she said, we're so blessed. And I said, yes, we are. We are really that. I said, but we're also blessed when we didn't have a dime. When we're standing in food lines when I was in the military as a young corporal, E4 in San Francisco. Now, everybody knows San Francisco is not the easiest place to live when you don't have any money. And so we would have to be out there. So write a comment. Who's watching this morning? We would on Tuesday mornings, the base would have an open house for people, soldiers, young soldiers that couldn't make it through the week, and we were in those lines. because as a soldier serving our country, we didn't have enough money. We had more month than money, in other words. And it was difficult. We were living on base too. But what we had was we made it from week to week, sometimes day to day. And every Sunday, it seemed that people came over and they gathered at the house, and we had a barbecue. We had a cookout. It just stretched, because that, I thought, was more of the success than just the material, the money thing. We were able to make it stretch. And my wife was great at making those things stretch. And the happiness was there, and seeing everybody and being around. And that's what fueled us. We look forward to Sunday afternoons for that. So I thought that was great. But yes, I used to chase after it, and I never could catch the money. I still can't catch the money. So you got to put a cap, I believe. You have to put a cap on what you desire. What is it that you want to bring in to the household? Excuse me. What is it that you want to bring in? What is it? How much do you want? How much is enough? Then we can begin to say to ourselves, to others, I've reached it. I've gotten to the place where I have enough. Enough is enough. I don't need to chase after X number of dollars every single year. I just need to put a cap on where I want to be. If I get a little bit more, that's great. If I'm a little bit under, that's great too. But I have a target of where I want to be for the end of the year. And it's not a huge number, right? So that's not a huge number. So I know I can hit that number, and I know I can stretch a little bit more than that number. But that becomes my success. So that brings me to point number 2, personal growth and development. We can also, in personal growth and development, chase after personal growth and development. I know people that chase after doctorate degrees. They chase after their PhDs, or they chase after the master's degrees. They got masters after masters after masters, but they're still never happy, because they want the next degree. They want the next iteration. And does that mean, and you can put this in the chat, I don't know, does that mean that they're not happy with themselves? That they want to be seen by others to have these degrees? I'm going to tell you, I never wanted. My mom, God rest her soul, knew that if she could just get her boy out of college, that would be good. And it's not that I didn't want to pursue those things. I actually do want to try to get a master's degree, because I want to pursue it now for myself, because I think I'll get more understanding of some of the topics I'm talking about. I do things by a lot of times when I'm sharing with audiences. It's amazing how I'm in line with some of these master's programs, even some doctorate programs, on the way I'm thinking about some things already. And then they equate it to, oh, this is this person thinking like that, or this is that person thinking like that. And I said, well, have they challenged it in this way? Right. So so I think it'd be interesting for me to go through a program like that. But I don't know. What do you all think? Should I do it or not? I don't know. But I think the older I become, I realize now that the less I know. The older I become, the less I know. And I began to, I think I like challenging thoughts. I like challenging ideas. I like challenging it to see what we have does it stand the test, or can it be discarded? And I think too oftentimes we're getting information, we're getting knowledge just so we can say that we have the information, we have the knowledge. But have we applied the knowledge? Have we wrestled with that knowledge within inside of our own lives? That's where I was just thinking about a thought around that. Hopefully it'll come back to me. So how do we wrestle with that within inside of our own lives? We have to, I know what I wanted to say. So like during the pandemic, people got tired of the term, the new normal. Well, I'm just sick of the term, the new normal. Well, usually it was a reason because of that. People were sick and tired of the term, the new normal. One was because they couldn't get back what they desired to have back. It came out like this: I just wish things would return back to normal. Well, that's not happening. And then the other way it came out was, I guess it's just our new normal. In both those two ways, it was powerless for people to move forward. So I think that's a challenge. So then everybody else was saying it, no one else can move forward with the words. So then we get tired of the phrase or the words. But I've been using it for 20 years. I'm not just going to discard it. I'm going to look and see what's going on deeper. If we go back to the pandemic, March of 2020, like 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, And we define the word new. New means no prior point of reference. No prior point of reference. So if new is no prior point of reference, then why are we trying to use old systems, old thoughts, old ideas to put into a new bucket to get a different output? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result is the definition of exactly insanity. But we're still doing it. So that's what I challenge people in. Just because you think it's hard for you, how many have lived through a pandemic before? This was totally new and we didn't like it. Most of us went through a cerebral amputation. We could no longer do the things we wanted to do. Those things were amputated from our lives. We couldn't go see our loved ones in the hospital when they had COVID. Those that were like my wife, she was in the hospital. I could not go in to see her. 4 days I had to just be on the fence. Was that the last time I saw my wife? She still had lingering effects of it right now to this day. And then we had to live with other people that are saying, "Oh, it's not even real," right? So we had these amputations. We didn't want to deal with that, and that is very difficult space to be in. So I think chasing after the personal growth and development can also be a hindrance. And so if it's not coupled and balanced. And finally, I think the third thing, and I'll just kind of stop here, is with the impacts and contribution on society. I think this is where we really are the successful ones. When we get a chance to realize and understand that we are inspirers. I love that word, because inspirers come from, or inspirer comes from the Latin word inspiro, which means to breathe life into others. And when we breathe life into others, we elevate them. We cause them to dream differently, or have breath inside of them, to breathe again, to know that things are possible. And when we are down in the dumps and don't feel like we're successful, if we just go to help another person, not to elevate ourselves, but to really truly honor and lift someone else up, I mean, it makes us feel good about who we are. And we said, "Oh yeah," it feels like we're in congruence with who we are supposed to be and how we're made. And I think that's where the beginning of where we look at success. There was a gentleman when I was in Washington D.C. He came in extremely drunk. I mean, falling over to the hotel I was staying at, falling over drunk. And everybody's just walking by him, and even the cab that dropped him off, the Uber that dropped him off, was trying to get him up. He was trying to push himself up on a cart, and the cart kept moving out from him. So the Uber driver got him up, and when he fell back down the ground, he just walked around his car, got in, and he was gone. So I was watching this as I was coming across the street, this whole kind of process, and I just went up to him and said, "Hey, dude, do you need some help?" And he said, "I could." He said yes. I think that's what he said. And so got him up, and then the folks that were inside watched this whole process from the hotel I was staying at. Then they came out and they said, hey, Mr. Register, don't worry about that. We got him. We'll take him up. We'll take care of it." I said, "Okay, fine." So I let them do their job. So that, I think, is where success lies, and how we support each other. And then I need support. We're going to talk about that tomorrow on, I'll come back tomorrow with Kat Coppett, and we'll also have Teresa, Dr. Teresa Larson. She's going to be on, and she's going to be talking about that. And one of the things that Teresa Larson did for me was she supported me physically in a way, like last weekend. So we're going to talk about some of those things on Performance Shift. We start that at 9:30 Eastern time. So come on back in for that. Hey, the Winzines are on. Great to, oh my gosh, can you believe that? That's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Is that Kathleen or with Winzine? Thank you so much. They used to live right across the street from us in Oak Park, Illinois. Wow, love it. So that's what we're talking about this morning. And thank you so much for being on. I'm in, like I said, I'm in Phoenix. I'm in the furnace. It is hot. And we're going to have myself and Christy Siefkin are going to do what's called a little speaking course this morning. So if you're in Phoenix, come on over. We still have a few seats open, left open, open, left. I can't even talk this morning. Anyway, come on over. You can find it on my LinkedIn profile where we're going to be. So come on over there. and that's going to start at 8:30 this morning. We'll go to 12 noon, and then we're going to bounce out. Jeff Johnson, good to see you as well, my friend. Thank you for being on. I appreciate everybody being on this morning, from coming in from Facebook. I love it. So I didn't even know folks were even listening from Facebook. So that's great. And then the Winzines are on as well. All right, so that is that's the lesson for today. Come on over with Christy Seifkin and myself. Come on, join us tomorrow with Kat Coppett on Performance Shift, and we will chat with you again hopefully next week as we are talking about Fearless Friday, Amputating Fear. This was on the fear of success or being successful. All right, have a fantastic day. Go forth, inspire your world, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.